No, no, dupes. Oh no. Welcome back, my fellow duplicants. Today I've got some more mere madness for you. Now, one of the things that I did here in the last episode here is I made up this petroleum generator. However, look at that. Ooh, this thing puts off some serious heat. I didn't notice it, but the carbon dioxide that comes out of the petroleum generator is at 110 degrees Celsius. So it's a little bit crispy. I don't want to run this too much. The second reason I don't want to run this too much is because, I'm drowning in carbon dioxide. So the thing that I need to take care of today is I really need to get some gas control going on here before I run out of livable space. Luckily, we do have a lot of these oxyferns down here, which create little pockets of oxygen, which is nice. So I need to get my gases under control. So to do that, what I'm going to do is kind of take a page out of something I did a while ago, which is where I create a gas loop with filters along the way. I was actually doing this in my last playthrough, but it didn't really fit the base all that well. So I'm hoping this arrangement here will kind of redeem what I was trying to go for. So let me just plan out a blueprint real quick right down here. So what I'm going to have is pumps strategically placed around the base, and they are going to be detecting certain types of gases that come around. So if I take them and I hook them up to little gas element sensors like this, if I detect certain types of gas in the area, such as chlorine or something where I don't want it to be, then I'll turn this on and this will kind of run wherever it needs to go. Now for my filter everything gas sort of video, there's several different ways that we can detect gas and then shoot it out a different direction. The way that I like to do it, which is really quite easy and reliable and whatnot, is to just use a gas element pipe sensor just like this, and then a gas shutoff right after that. So if we detect the gas that we want in this first spot, it'll then jump out of the valve when that activates. Essentially how this works is gas moves through here, we detect it here, that activates the valve via an automation wire, and then the gas jumps out here and goes down to our storage container. So that way we can filter that type of gas. So that's a lot more affordable because the gas filter runs off 120 watts, whereas our gas shutoff valve here is only 10. Now, one thing I would like to have here is some gas under pressure so that I don't have to repump it if I want to use it. So that means I need to use a gas reservoir here. This can store up to 150 kilograms, which is pretty good. I may want to have 2 for each type of gas. That way I have 300 kilograms on hand. And maybe even more importantly, I have 2 outputs in case I need an increased amount of flow. So rather than kind of running these in series like this, where we just have one input and then one output down here, I can kind of bring it in to one spot there, or maybe jump it over like this, and bring things in series, allowing me to take them out in series, maybe? That's kind of my thought. Essentially what I'm going for here is something equivalent to what we would get on the modded side of things, where we have multiple inputs and multiple outputs, allowing us to move a lot more flow through a container of the exact same size. So this thing can store, well, 300 kilograms, but it also has 5 inputs, 5 outputs, allowing us to flow a lot more gas. So Super Meep, you're going to love that one. Those large tanks are one of my favorite modded pieces of equipment because they're just so useful. Next up, we need to compress the gas. Now we can kind of just run some valves with a little bit of water, and that would kind of infinitely compress the gas if I wanted to. However, I kind of like to use doors because I think it's a little bit more fun that way. So I'll have a couple of doors over here with some automation that ultimately leads to a container with a pump in it. That way, if this thing gets low enough, I can actually bring this out of my compressed reservoir over here and bring it back into the tanks, keeping everything nice and full. But essentially how this works is you close this thing off like so, and then once I get a nice high pressure gas vent, which I don't have yet because I don't have any plastic, I'll put that inside of here, and then these doors open up, pull the gas in, squeeze it off to the right, and bada bing bada boom, you have compressed gas over here. Which, considering I have too much carbon dioxide, is a good thing because I need to compress some carbon dioxide over here and store it for later. So that's kind of the space I'm looking for right there. As you can see, it's kind of a big area. And one of the things is that I want to keep this area right here clear because I'm probably going to do a lot of item sorting since I'm dropping things down in this area and then kind of using auto sweepers to sort things out. I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I want to make sure that I keep this area clear for my automated storage retrieval system that I hope to build. So I think gas filtering is going to happen down here. Plus I need to get down to this biome anyhow and start working with this salt water. When it comes to cooling things down, one of the things that I need to research is going to be under here. So that's going to be our good old steam turbine. Since I have so much salt water that I need to convert into clean water, boiling it off is probably a good idea. Otherwise, I have to run it through a desalinator over here, which can process 5 kilograms per second, but it costs me 480 watts to do so. All right, so my ground level down here is going to be this spot right there. So I'm going to dig beneath that down here, and this is where I'm going to put in the gas filtering system. All right, so one more thing, even though, gosh, I have enough going on already, is I need to dig this out over here, and then I need to start dropping down liquefiables in this spot right here. So those will drop down right down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that bottom tile to a mesh tile, so as things melt, hopefully, they'll fall right down here. Now, as far as all of this polluted water and water, I can actually just use my own line right here. We have a dirty water line. That one right there will do. So I can go ahead and pipe that in there. The one thing is I want to disable anything that is liquefiable. I guess it's not an issue. So Thalric, you can actually move up over here because there's a cot available and one for you as well, Star. All right, so let's plan out the first things that I need over here. The first things I need, and we'll line it up with this right there, is I'm going to need my gas pipe that is just going to allow me to kind of run a loop right in this area. So it'll be something a bit like that. And then I'll have gas pipe element sensors right there, and then the next one will be a gas shutoff. And then to the right of that, I'm going to have a gas reservoir. Then a floor, a space, and another one. A floor, a space, and another one. A floor, a space, and another one. You can see this thing's kind of big. I wasn't expecting it to be big. I was kind of hoping for this episode to be kind of short, because the last one was super long, at least for me to record. But hey, you know what? Things happen. Alright, so we'll slap down all of this right there, and right there. Actually, you know what? These probably don't need to be mesh airflow tiles, but we'll see if I can get away with it. There you go. Dig it out, dupes. Ooh, finally tap into a little bit of hydrogen. That'll be nice. I also have some oxygen down here. It's more breathable down here at the bottom of my base than it is anywhere else. How awkward is that? Man, look at that. Look at that. Ooh. 2.7 kilograms of oxygen? Nice. I decided to activate my MEEP over here. Start making a little bit of oxygen. But you know what? I should probably not allow the gases to pass between the two zones here. Ooh, that's a dangerous thing. I'll tell you what, I'll give myself about 3 cycles or so, because you know what? MEEP over here has really just been sucking down the oxygen and not actually putting any more into the area. But we're gonna have to close it off here. There we go. Close that off. No more free oxygen from one side to the other. You can see we're getting fancy with the deodorizers over here just for the sake of it. I gotta think of something over here. I can't engineer everything. Sweepy! Dude, you're falling down to a new low. But there you go. Oh, Sweepy's picking up the eggs, with the eggs dropping down here. No, never mind. Ignore me. Who's making a mess? Ada! No! You trapped yourself over here on purpose, didn't you, Ada? Sweepy! Man, how'd you get all the way over there, dude? Sweepy needs an elevator. Oh, you know what? That would be cool. If Sweepies could just jump into a little, suction tube. Their own little suction tube and then go back home. That would be neat. Alright, so one important thing that I need to keep in mind is that the gas shutoff valves always need a little bit of power. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them their own power transformer. Just like so. So here we go. We can just put a little power transformer right there. And this way, I have power downstream. So I always have power available for those little switches and whatnot. Alright, so here's my strategy for the gas pipe. I'm going to bridge over like that. And double connect these first two like that. So just one over there. So then I can bring in one more line right here. And it should have priority. Ada, for real? For real, Ada? Are you gonna do it? Come on now, Ada. Make it to the bathroom. Come on, you can do it. Oh, we were talking about this earlier. You guys were telling me that I should have more outhouses and stuff around the base so that they don't have to run all the way back here. Good point. Good point. You know what? This seems like a good spot for an outhouse. Yeah, there you go. We'll drop an outhouse. Put a little lamp there just so you can see what you're doing. A little bit of automation, duplicate motion sensor. That way you can do your business nice and quick. And we should have power nearby. Sorry, I keep pausing the game. There we go. And then, under medical, we'll give ourselves a wash basin. Boom. Haha, just like that. All right, do I not have any more water? Where'd all my water go? Not good. Oh, I guess it's right here. For some mysterious reason. Maybe what's going on over here? Slickster. Ooh, that would actually be good right about now. Especially with the... like I have enough time to deal with it. But I have hot carbon dioxide coming off of here, which means I can feed that to the Slickster. That's most likely just going to die or make an absolute mess over here. Oh no. Hold up, I got a spot over here. Slickster. There you go. And the shovel right there. Wrangle. Friday 11-9. Should I put the poke shell down there too? Why not? I don't know what else to do with it. Okay, once again, I'm trying to get this thing down a little bit. There's too many critters around, so I gotta keep dropping doors to kind of split off the area. There we go. And now we have 0 of 20, which means we should be able to actually, darn it, re-wrangle this stuff. Super Beep, no, don't wrangle it over here. Well, I guess, thank you for the help. Ooh, even got a skill out of it. Are you gonna be wrangled? There we are, good. Oh, we need a trap for that guy, which of course I don't have. Whoops, can't do that one. We do have a decent amount of water down here. We can try to mop that up and then play around with it just a little bit. Do this number where you kind of dig it and then see if you can trick in a mop command. Haha! Huh. If I go really slow, let's see if I can get it. So what I'm doing here is I get the command in before a lot of the water flows in. So when you go down to mop it, you're actually able to bottle up a lot more stuff that way. Heh, tricky trick. Alright, cool. How's our oxygen situation? Oh, we still have a lot over here. We got a little bit of hydrogen. That would be nice. Hydrogen power is nice and clean. People are continually starving because they can't get to the food. This thing is not really running because the power situation is really set up not to make that thing run. So I'm gonna actually run both of these at the same time. Make it a little bit more efficient. Matter of fact, I think if I get rid of this door, I think I can tune up this petroleum generator and make it a little bit more efficient. Let's take a look here. Aha! I can. Oh, and you know what? That gives me a better opportunity, I think. Well, if I was willing to bump that over one spot, I could take the polluted dirt and automatically deliver it. I got enough going on now, but I'm gonna remember that. I do have enough shine bugs. I should really get solar panels up and running. How you doing, sweeps? You're doing good. Woo, careful. All right, hey, look what we did. We got rid of that. So now we need to deconstruct that door, which means my dupes are probably gonna go flying all over the place. Nope, no, wrong side. God, geez, everybody's sharing bathrooms. Stealing no. Dupes? I run. Alright, are all the dupes on the right side? I hope so. Otherwise you're trapped. Oh, but now I just deconstructed those doors. Darn it. This is gonna be chaos. You know what, Meep? You're right. I just heard what you said there. Insulated, mechanized airlock. Your door is too good for those dupes over there. Meanwhile, these noobs over here just get normal mechanized airlocks. Alright. Live it up, dupes. Okay, nobody can go through that one. Nobody can go through that one. Super Meep, you can only go that direction. Super Meep is clearly stealing ceramic just to insulate himself from those non-modded people. Ooh, hey, there you go. Alright, here we go. No. Nope. You guys can't go through. Alright, everybody can only go that direction except for Super Meep, who can go both directions. I listen to your comments. Alright, Meep, get back to work, dude. Okay, we all good? We good? No, Ada needs to leave. After stealing some copper. These dupes. Who is still over here? Soulgate? He's running off with some meat. He's like, I want some barbecue. Well, alright. There. See, now gas can't pass between the two. No farts allowed. Somebody want to dig down here and tell me what we have? It would be nice to know. We can, if we dig out, I think this tile right there, we would see what it is. I think we could dig out just about everything here, except for I think that tile, because that would actually activate it. Okay, so here's one setting that I didn't set last time. I need to enable auto drop. Look at that. Now the water's just right there. You ready? Here we go. So the reality is Super Meat doesn't even need a tank down here. Where'd you get crude oil from? Well, anyhow, guess what I was saying here is that this is a great way to, if you want to store up lots and lots of water, this is how you do it. Infinite storage. I can do the same thing with gas, too. So, the modded side of things is literally just that building. Right there. Alright, let me know what is behind this. Dupes? Dupes? How did you... What? Somebody come save them. Ada of all people. There you go. Alright. So did I dig up some things that are melting over here? Oh yeah, because they're just absolutely making a mess in my base. Nice. So over here, there should be liquefiable. Snow, yes. Ice, sure. Carbon dioxide, why not? Alright, so we need a pump that's right there, a little bit of automation with a hydro sensor to let me know that this is going to be above 10 kilograms. And then we need to go up here and start digging away. Should probably close this up a little bit more. Iron, I think you might want to start digging. Maybe just an option. Probably a really good option. Alright, so once we break the seal, a lot of things will start to flow through. And that'll run out over here, which then runs out over here, which goes through this, goes through that, and kind of flows down there. Spaghetti-wise. There's going to be a lot of cold dupes, but here we go. Alright, our oxygen situation's actually looking a little bit better here. I ran the terrariums for a little while. That helped quite a bit. But it also pretty much eliminated any of the water I had built up down there. So, I need to keep bringing in more. Alright, so liquefiables, those can be dropped over here. Everything else, over there. There's technically going to be sweep onlys. There we go. Oops, you dupes, you gotta plug this thing in. You gotta plug it in. This is above 10 kilos. We run it. Dupes, what are you doing? They're all stuck in the same spot. Everybody's got hypothermia. Dupes? No, dupes. Oh no! Alright, so I saw down here, as Sweepy is so kindly showing me, that I do have some stone hatchling eggs, which means I have a stone hatchling. Yes, we have the next step in my hatch thing. Stone hatchling. That's the wrong one I clicked on. Alright, how are we doing down here with the gas filtering and stuff? We should be doing alright. Oh gosh, I gotta feed this thing copper ore just to maybe get a smooth hatch egg? Man, I'm not crazy about that. Look at all these pips just falling down. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna restrict this down to a few because I just need the eggs, man. I don't need a bunch of these things here. Tell you what, we can feed them aluminum ore or copper ore. Hopefully they really like that. Alright, how's our water doing? Oh yeah, look at that. That's flowing down, which is flowing down over here, which is then being cleaned in case it was ever germy. Very nice. And not very warm either, so it's nice and cold. Matter of fact, if I wanted to change this from just a insulated pipe to something like granite, that would kind of keep this area cool. Oh boy, another Volpup. Maybe this one's for you, Super Meat. Alright, yeah, just, well, we'll see who gets it. Alright, so if I wanted to set up like a detection gas pump somewhere, I suppose right down here near this would be a good spot for it. So then I could take a gas element sensor over here, and I could look for a couple things like chlorine, carbon dioxide, either of those are ones that I'll probably want to activate this pump with. So if either of those show up, then I'll run this and bring in a little bit of carbon dioxide to this loop. So what I do is I just bring it in like this, and then I take automation and we run wires between there, all the way down like that. We obviously need to plug this stuff in, so let's do all of that. Holy moly, we got a volcano down here. Quite the opposite of what I thought was going to be down there. A massive volcano periodically erupts, surrounded by salt water of all things. Well, this stuff might have to move because I think I have a couple of steam turbines that might need to be next to this thing. Huh. That'll be interesting. Let's not break the seal on this thing. Huh. Poke shells, you're not in a good spot. Alright, awesome. We were able to dig up all of this stuff up here. Nice. Which means I can go ahead and sweep up a lot of this stuff before it melts. I suppose I could also just build the liquefiable spot right here because, well, already got water there. Maybe even slap a little heater down there. Soulgate! No, dude! Dude. You're in a bad spot there. Soulgate! Oh, it's getting worse. Can you dig this spot? There you go. Now, can you dig that spot? Oh, you're good. Just adding a little water to the pool. I got it. All right, how's the water situation? Things are full. Hey, but at least they're draining out over here. That's good. Madness. All right, there we go. All right, so I have multiple inputs split up, doing their thing, giving me 3 outputs over here if I need them. Ha! I think that's enough. Now, what I should be able to do is set this to carbon dioxide. If so, we're going to see that gas is coming in, and because that is true now... Alright, one more thing that I need down here is that if I detect something like oxygen, I want it to kick out of the system so that it can go off and into my base. So that will be this line right here. Alright, how are we doing, stone hatches? Good. How's your smooth hatchling coming along? Not very good. Hope you figure that out soon, because it's kind of expensive to feed you that stuff. Alright, but what we can see here, look at this. Look at all this carbon dioxide we're storing up. Nice. Hopefully that will kind of suck down some of that carbon dioxide so that I don't drown. What you can see is that we have been able to keep it below this point right here. So I have oxygen above this, carbon dioxide below it, which is real nice. And since all of the carbon dioxide is going to flow down over here first, I should be able to kind of suck up a little bit there. These things don't really suck up much. We're talking about just a few grams per second. Maybe 10 altogether. Maybe. Even that's probably on the high side. As compared to this, which is 300. So that's doing a good job. It's kind of detecting it every now and then. We scrub a little bit. The rest is flowing down. Real good. How's the heat up here? Not too bad. We're at 38 degrees. It would be nice if I can kind of get a base-wide cooling system. That would be nice. How you doing over here, Meep? Super Meep, you're idle. And sad. And somehow have oil. Do you cry oil, Super Meep? Is that those slick tears or something? How did all the... what are you supposed to be eating, by the way, hatches? Because you've just been in here starving. Sorry about that. Highly forgetful. I think the next thing I'm going to have to tackle here is kind of automated critter stuff, because it's really starting to kind of take up a lot of space and time. More wallpaper, maybe. Yes. Yes. Oh, and you know what? Now that I know how to do stairs, that would be a great thing for you to build up over here rather than a big old ladder. Let's give it a try. Alright, Meep, give this a try. Let's see how that looks. Alright, let's take a look at the oxygen situation. Alright, so we have 600 grams down here. That was a lot better than well over 1,000. And look at this, we got a lot more oxygen up there. Very nice, much better. Whew. Oh, I can finally breathe. Well, now you've done it, Meep. You can't even get down. Alright, so I dug out all of this down here, just to kind of move some of that salt water down. That seemed to work out pretty good. Man, there's a lot of water down there. How we're doing up here? We seem to be doing pretty good. Pumping lots of water around. That's nice to see. How's our research doing? None is selected. All right, let's get this up and running, huh? Oh man, look at all these poke shells down here. All right, so some poor dupe's gonna get this job of digging down here just to see what kind of geyser or vent or whatever we have down in this spot. But when you need to know, you need to know. Meep? Dude, what are you peeing on the floor for, dude? Oh man. So here's kind of the stair arrangement I'm working with. I think it looks all right. I think if I add a little bit of wallpaper or something behind it, it would look even better. Let me throw some of that down and see how it looks. What do we have down here? Ooh, that's close. Something is behind there. Oh man, more volcanoes. Whoa! I guess I did select volcanic, didn't I? Oh, and what do we have down here? A natural gas geyser. A little bit of power. Very nice. And it's right in line with some of my gas tanks. That's pretty decent. And you know what? I think these stairs are looking pretty good. But at any rate, that's all I got time for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little episode here of Oxygen Not Included. If this looks like the channel for you, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Stay awesome, guys. Peace. Brothgar out. Alright, so welcome to the dupe debrief. Alright, so let's jump into the comments here. I have two videos that we're going to be pulling from this time because I didn't do it last time. Just kind of ran out of gusto and figured, just post the video. Post the video. Don't push too far. One thing that happens with YouTubers, if they push too far in the comments, suddenly the comments start to sound like really aggressive, and that's just because you as a person are overextended. So, I've learned my lesson in the past. At a certain point, I just turn things off and move on for a little while. Go watch some Netflix, mow the grass. Anyhow, that's kind of the reality. Probably will happen again. You gotta look out for yourself first, or you won't be able to look out for anybody. Let's go into the comments here. There's a lot of really interesting ideas for other challenges that are popping up, as always happens whenever I'm doing an interesting playthrough like this. Just to give you guys kind of an idea where I'm at with all of the different challenge ideas or ideas for future series, I'm really hoping the next thing that we get to cover here is the DLC. We heard earlier that it might be coming out in the last quarter here, and I'm guessing this playthrough is going to go on for a little while more. So we'll just kind of have to play it by ear, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the next thing we're going to cover here is the DLC, which technically would be a vanilla playthrough, so all of you that are talking about vanilla stuff, well, then yes. As far as current challenges for this game, I'll be honest, I've already kind of recorded the next couple of episodes. It's enough of a handful at this point to where I don't want to make it more difficult because it gets hard to focus on any one thing, and then the video just ends up a spaghetti, you know? You know what it's like if you ever watched a show with way too many storylines going on at the same time and you can't keep track of anything. I don't want to end up like that. Now, there's a lot of really good ideas here, like, oh boy.
Miroslav.
Like this comment here from Miroslav. I do that so much, by the way. Arguably, a simpler way for your water, which is kind of the one that we're using to get rid of the germs, that tank system that was a couple videos ago, is to have 4 tanks in series in a chlorine environment with the automation on the 4th tank connected to a shutoff valve. And yeah, I think there are other ways to kind of automate that. There's actually a lot of ideas. There's so much of it that I could probably do an entire video on different ideas that you guys have come up with. Here's another example from Desktop Coder where he's doing it with just 1 tank right there. And the thing is, I was basing my design off of what I knew previously. I didn't look at it from a fresh perspective of saying, now we have this sensor on the tank, what can you do with that? And with that in mind, you can do some more advanced things and compress the design a little bit. Or like we're doing here, you can make the design a little bit larger, and that point, as long as you have stuff in the tank, it's just going to be continuously killing stuff, which is actually a really good way of doing it. The way I did it is it's far more complicated than it really needs to be. So in case you're wondering, yes, there's better designs out there. Probably a great topic for a video all on its own though. All right, next video. Great series. Careful with the auto sweepers. They might not make an auto great haul. I'm not really 100% sure on that one, but we can look it up. All right, let's take a look at the room overlay. It is a mess hall. Let's just deconstruct that real quick. Oh, you know what? I got this loader right here, and that probably breaks it. Yeah, see, this is still a mess hall regardless. However, the conveyor loader... Ah, you see that... That did have an effect. So I only have a mess hall right now to start with. But the loader was a thing that caused an issue there. Not so much the sweeper. So what I can do here with this sweeper, in case you're wondering, I could just move it over to the side and have it reach through the pneumatic door. I love how often you upload. Oh yeah, so this is a question I'm actually getting a lot, and not necessarily directly that, but people are wondering when these videos upload. Right now, and I hate saying the schedule aloud because it always comes back to bite me. It's like, you know, computer. Right now the upload schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. That's it. Don't upload on Friday for whatever reason. People don't watch videos on Friday. And Monday because I gotta focus on other things. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. The one exception to this might be if I'm trying to do a video for a different channel called Watch It Print. Right now, my big push that's going on behind the scene here is this CAD program that I'm making for this printer right here, which is existing in the other room. I'm looking to get that online and up for sale this week. I've got energy drinks cooling, so even if it nearly kills me, I'm gonna get it done this week. I'm literally right there. So that's where a really big push is going on there. Another thing is I'm looking to make some of these sweepies here because you guys were actually talking about the fact that you wanted this, and I kind of worked on the numbers that you guys told me, and going from that, this will be kind of a project that will make its way into the other channel as far as the process of going through this, manufacturing it for profit. I actually just purchased a laser engraver just to kind of add a little customized touch to it, because based on what I learned from you guys is that you want it to be personalized and unique more than you want it to be affordable or anything like that, which is good because I can't make it cheap. But maybe more importantly than all of that is your boy needs to make some money so that I can be around in 2021. In case you're wondering, the actual average that your view is worth is anywhere from 1/5 to 1/4 of a cent. You want to see Super Meep have a stress reaction? Dude, no, he would just blow up my entire base. That wouldn't be good. Brad says, if you drop water on the floor as liquid, can you use the sweeping to automatically bottle it? From there, use automation to supply the bottles. Well, liquid shipping is only available as a mod, which I do have installed, and I definitely plan to make use of when the opportunity shows. All right, so I got to move on to the next thing. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Stay awesome, guys. I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace. Brothgar out.